Living more of an old-fashioned type of lifestyle has a lot of advantages and benefits. Sometimes we look at that saying old-fashioned and we think it's going to be harder, more stressful, take more time, more energy, and we just don't want to take that on. But in a lot of ways, living an old-fashioned lifestyle actually gives you reduced expenses, more financial security, and a ton of other benefits that we're going to talk about today. I hope you will stick around. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. I have frugal videos all year round and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. Embracing an old-fashioned lifestyle can not only save you money, but it also can help you in ways with the environment. A lot of old-fashioned people reuse things, mend things, repair things, and make things where they last longer. And did you know that hanging your clothes on the line can fall in that category? Not only is it less wear and tear on your clothes by being in the dryer, but if you have a stain, it won't set if you have hung it on the line. And you have a second chance to get that stain out of your clothes. Once you stick a piece of clothing in the dryer with a stain, it's set. It's in there for good. But when you hang it on the line and once it dries, if the stain is still there and it didn't bleach out in the sunlight, which is another advantage, you have a second shot of trying to treat that stain and getting it out of your clothes to extend the life of your clothes. Not to mention the extra vitamin D that you get from being outside to hang those clothes. I prefer to purchase and use as little clothespins as possible. As you know, one of the trees took out our clothesline here a few weeks ago. We have it back up and going again. I used an inside drying rack while the clothesline was down. But I like to hook my clothes together with one pin and just keep that going down the line to use less clothespins and also to take less time putting the clothes on the line and taking them off. I also hang my jeans seam to seam and flip them over the line. That makes the seams look perfectly pressed. And by using that method that I just showed you, by saving the clothespins, if you hang your shirts upside down, they have less clothespin marks. Because who likes those weird, funky clothespin marks that come at the shoulders if you hang them that direction? Living an old-fashioned life has even been credited with giving people a more balanced and fulfilling type of lifestyle. And that is because when you lean towards living old-fashioned, you're more likely to try to learn new skills or new self-sustainable type of practices, like learning to cook more at home or trying some different types of foods to cook at home that maybe you never did before, like breads or canning some items. You're more likely to try these things if you lean towards old fashioned. You're also more likely to try a DIY project rather than trying to hire it out. Maybe you're even more likely to try doing some pot gardening inside your house if you don't have land. These are things that we can do no matter where we live that can lean us towards living a more fulfilling, practical life and have more financial stability and less stress along the way. Old fashioned living has even been credited with fostering a sense of autonomy, a sense that we can make our own decisions, that we can figure out a way around whatever is going on that is maybe an external factor like inflation. Old fashioned people have been said to be more resilient because we can figure out ways to get around whatever is going on at the time. We have the ability to make changes independently, to adapt to whatever those external factors are. I've said for quite a while on this channel that inflation has not affected me. Do I have to change the way I spend? Yes. Do I have to shop more carefully? Of course. Do I have to really look at recipes and determine what are the best ones and more cost efficient ones that are still delicious to make? Absolutely. But I know that I have the ability to deal with whatever gets thrown my way when it comes to inflation. I can avoid the things that cost more. I can substitute with something else. I can make things that are less expensive, and I can choose those items that are more old fashioned that I can do myself independently. It has also been said that old fashioned people are actually eating better because we have the ingredient households. We have the things that we're growing, and we're not buying a lot of the processed foods because we've gone back to basic ingredients, basic spices, basic things that we make that don't have all of those additives to them. And in the long run, that's even better for our health. Allowing a simpler, old fashioned type of lifestyle also makes us more cognizant of how we spend our time and our resources. I have found the more old fashioned I have become over the last few years, the less I shop. The less I need to go out and look for things to purchase to do whatever I need to do. Usually I can figure it out at home without leaving the house. I can reuse something, I can make something different. I can use some ingredients that have been sitting in my pantry or in my freezer for a while, and I can make do. This is a big saying that they had back during the Great Depression: make do or do without. And I don't do without, but I have found that my skills in making do have blossomed. And so having to go out and actually purchase things instead of making do has become less and less and less. My shopping lists have gotten smaller and smaller because I now have honed in on that skill of making do. If you are like me, you have probably expanded that area as well. Maybe you don't buy cleaning products anymore and you just buy a few basic ingredients and make your own. These are the types of things I'm talking about, that you can usually find a lot of these things in your own home, and you can mark those things off your shopping list. Many people who are old fashioned like to hang on to some of the old traditions. We see the value in hard work, but we also see the value in figuring out ways that save us time. So if you are looking for ways to try to save money, save time, save energy, sometimes that harder work or those old fashioned traditions actually can get you where you want to go. They will save you time by not running out to shop. They might be a little bit harder, like hanging your clothes on the line, but you'll also see the benefit of those traditions, like being able to get the spots out of your clothes before they're ruined because they didn't go in the dryer. Hard work has been known to pay off. So, old fashioned living type of people understand the value in doing some of these things. And we also understand the value of doing these things for ourselves to save money and build independence. Old fashioned living and frugal living have become more popular over the last several years. And it might surprise you, but those of us that do it, we do it not because we have to, but because we actually get enjoyment from doing it. There is so much self satisfaction in knowing that you know how to do some of these things on your own, and being able to do them is fun, and it keeps that learning process going. I have learned so much just since I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to learn more old fashioned living. Even though I grew up here in Kansas in a rural area with a dad who was a farmer and didn't work outside the home, and we did all kinds of self sustainable practices, I knew there was more that I could learn and more things that I wanted to try that I'd never had the chance to do when I was working full time. So I can tell you that I have embraced this so much, and I get so much enjoyment out of learning these new things that I just like to share this with others, because maybe you can incorporate a thing or two into your lifestyle and find a whole new hobby that has to do with trying some old fashioned traditions. Many people who live an old fashioned life will tell you that they are less stressed and that they're actually living better than they were when they were spending so much money and buying so many things that were pre made or pre prepared, or replacing things when they broke because, oh, that broke, I need to buy another one right now. They will tell you that living this way is living life on purpose, and it gives you more freedom and less responsibility than when you were trying to keep up with all of that purchasing power, that maybe it was hard to get your hands around the money to do it. Living old fashioned builds that confidence that you can make it on less and you can actually live better than if you were trying to do things in the more modern fashion. So when you think about old fashioned living, don't think about it as deprivation. People that live old fashioned actually have more. They have more happiness, better health. They have more skills, and they have a lot more determination to do some things for themselves that otherwise might be hired out by the average person. So living old fashioned doesn't mean having less. It actually means you are going to live well, live better, have more security, and have more money in the bank. Living old fashioned actually gives you the chance to sock some of that money away. So when you're living frugal and you're living old fashioned, it doesn't mean that you're not doing fun things. It means you have the money to do the fun things when those opportunities present themselves. So many people get those ideas mixed up. They think frugal living and old fashioned living means you don't have any money, you don't have any choices, you're stuck doing all this stuff the old fashioned way because you can't afford to do it another way. But actually, it's the opposite. Those of us that do those things actually are more able to save money by doing some of these things, so we can do those fun things. And then when we do them, we can actually pay for them ahead of time and not go into debt to do it. I found this on Old Fashioned Living, and I thought it just captured it so well. Old fashioned living is about having a grounded life. It is about valuing the wisdom of the past and embracing the opportunities of the present. So it doesn't mean that you are back in the Stone Age, back in the Depression era, back living like it's World War II. It means that you are attacking those opportunities today in this modern world so that you can embrace the good things in life, so you can live more sustainable, so you can live more independently, and you can have more self-confidence, build your self-esteem to know that you can tackle whatever lies ahead because you have the skills to do it. When I was watching some videos the other day, trying to get some ideas about what to do for content this week, I watched some people on how to save money. And at that point, I watched a couple of videos and I thought, man, this is like totally out of my element. They were talking about, not going with the new buttery clothing trend. I thought, what is that? They were talking about, not getting the manicures, the pedicures, not going to the beauty salon, not getting like the eyelash extensions or getting these new magnetic eyelashes. And I thought, man, is this what the world has come to? We have magnetic eyelash extensions now. And I thought, I am just so thankful, so grateful that I live old fashioned. I'm so thankful that those things don't tempt me, those things don't interest me. Those are not things I've ever thought about doing or spending my money on because I always saw more value in experiences than I did things. And you can probably tell that because I live so old fashioned, but there is such a peace that comes with that. And I'm just so glad I never had like a shopping addiction. I know there are people that battle with that. And I'm so thankful that those things never tempted me. So now it is your turn. What are some old fashioned things that you do daily, that you embrace, that you find value in, that you do to either save money or just to give yourself your own peace of mind, knowing that you can tackle inflation and you can make it in this crazy world by doing some of these things yourself? I always love your tips. I love your comments. So give me some of your best old fashioned tips and tricks in the comments below that you do on a regular basis. I look forward to reading them. I hope you will join me in the next video, and thank you for being here for this one.